Hello and welcome to Africa Journal. I'm Kaya Edwards.
And I'm Masharia Maina. And sad that we're looking at the death of the legendary Tarab singer, Bi Kidude.
We do, however, celebrate her life and the long service she gave the Zanzibaris. That and many other stories from this great continent. Here's what's coming up.
New president for the Central African Republic. Could it be peace at last? Find out in our first story.
Next, no longer a raw deal. Ethiopia's move from exporting unprocessed leather material.
In the second half, picture protests. Africa's artists speak through art.
Yes.
A lot of controversy surrounds the political scene in the Central African Republic. Michael Jotodia has declared himself president after a coup overthrew the former head of state.
Tens of thousands of people have fled the country, others displaced by the violence. This is their story.
Patience is among thousands of refugees from the Central African Republic who fled to the Democratic Republic of Congo. Her journey was a hard one. She and others in exile crossed the Ubangi River and settled here at the Worobe camp.
We live with difficulty here. We have even started to sell our clothes to find salt in order to satisfy other needs, like finding soap or fish for the children. Truly, life is very difficult.
And the CAR's hard road to peace is now led by Michael Jotodia. His forces, Seleka, named after a local term meaning alliance, seized power after a peace deal negotiated with ousted President Francois Bozize collapsed. Upon the overthrow of Bozize, Jotodia declared himself president of the Central African Republic. According to the United Nations, around 37,000 people have fled the country after insecurity erupted. Tens of thousands more, like Patience, have been displaced by the violence. Jotodia is now urging people back home.
Je lance un appel patriotique.
I make a patriotic and brotherly appeal for our countrymen who have chosen the path of exile to return.
Qui ont pris le chemin de l'exil.
Seleka rebels captured the capital, Bangui. President Bozize fled the country on March 24th and is now in exile. The toppling came at a price. Many in Bangui resorted to looting. If one finger touches palm oil, it soils the others. This is a Nigerian proverb cautioning neighbors on the importance of helping each other. Due to the looting, the Seleka rebels appealed for help, again from their neighbors. A 1,000-strong regional FOMAC peacekeeping force made up of 5 nations came into play. Relative calm was established.
It made me happy this morning. I saw the buses and the taxis start to drive, and that encouraged me a little.
While business is slowly resuming, Red Cross in the CAR say that at least 119 people have been killed since March 24th, a number that has recently risen owing to the deaths of Seleka rebels at the hands of a mob. Steve Biko is a risk analyst. Having worked with regional markets, he believes the conflict in the Central African Republic to have one main solution.
It's very interesting. Because even the mandate of the UN troops is limited. They cannot engage, they cannot attack. Their work is to defend, their work is to protect the innocent. But they've not been doing it well because their mandate is limited, given the kind of, they're dealing with people who do not adhere to the rules of engagement in a military conflict. So for the UN and other related stakeholders, what they need to do is first come up with a political solution.
The Central African Republic's neighbors and Western partners have warned that they could not recognize Jotodia's rule. However, at a summit in Chad, next door to the Central African Republic, more African countries pledged to send in an extra 2,000 troops. The interim president in CAR may rule for no longer than 18 months according to law. During this period, a body of 105 members will guide the political transition to a new government. Maybe then, patients can return home from seeking refuge next door.
Leather has played a major role in fashion, and not only there, but in many African cultures as well. In Ethiopia, it means big money, and the country has seen a new move on the business.
And as one of Africa's leading exporters, they are giving the world more to work with. Have a look.
For many people, this will be deemed as waste. But in Ethiopia, it is a dependable resource to the economy. Leather is one of the oldest and most traded commodities in the world. The Ethiopian leather industry is bursting with potential due to the abundance of raw materials here. Ethiopia is Africa's largest producer of livestock. Leather from these animals accounted for $112 million in 2012.
When we look at manufacturing industry, leather is the significant contributor to this manufacturing industry. To the overall GDP of the country is close to 11%, and then from this, close to 20% of this is from leather and leather products exporting.
In the past, it has exported raw leather. In 2010, new policies were implemented. This gave the industry some much-needed direction. With the latest technology, a highly disciplined workforce and cheap prices, it has now become one of the world's leading leather garments and good producers.
Tanning industry as well as shoe industry has long years of they have long years in Ethiopia. We were not as such exporter of high value added materials until recently.
To maintain the lead, Ethiopia now organizes a yearly trade fair known as All Africa Leather Fair. This year's leather fair took place in February and was attended by more than 200 companies from over 40 countries around the globe.
All African Leather Fair has given us a medium where we can showcase quality products that we have, and also the capability of the Ethiopian tanneries to showcase for the world. And also it has given us a lot of opportunity where we don't get a chance previously.
It helped many upcoming tanneries to be better recognized. Batu Tannery was one of them.
Africa is endowed with a huge livestock population, and with this natural resource we can make into different industrial output, which is leather and shoes and other different articles. And my suggestion is for African countries to work on this.
Mr. S.C. Rasogi likes buying the products every time he visits the country.
What I have found is that leather products are available everywhere and we can get it, but here what I found, because I purchased one bag 2 years back, and the quality of leather what I found is same what I purchased 2 years back. So I feel that the leather products are good.
Residents here provide a big local customer base. However, unlike many places, the price for both tourists and locals remain the same. To expand the industry and encourage investors, the government has put in place mechanisms to enhance business.
There are, income tax exemptions when any investor going to invest in this particular subsector. And again, also there are different schemes, investment schemes, as well as export duty exemption schemes. There are different schemes, to motivate or to facilitate the investment, the enhancement of the subsector.
There are even courses at Addis Ababa University on creating leather products. Profit and fashion will continue to grow hand in hand as Ethiopia continues to grow as an African economic lion.
We'll take a short break now, but here's what's coming up when we return. The tale of the musical healer.